Hello, friends. This is John Klein III of episode 141 of Shadow and Flame of Magic, the podcast. And today we're going to review Exceptional X-Men issue 1. So let's get to it. And let's just get it out of the way now. This is by far my favorite issue of the relaunch. I think Uncanny X-Men would probably be number two. And then it's like up for grabs how the other ones go. And I got the Rose Betch variant cover, the only one that has Lockheed on the cover, if Kitty as well. And this is writer Eve L. Ewing, artist Carmen Carnero, color artist Nolan Woodward, letter VC's Joe Sabino, cover artist, I already said it. And whenever I do anything on Twitter at Jackal SII, and it's like, name your favorite X-Men or female character, it's like, well, this is the cover I'm using. Um, And I will say this is my second favorite issue of the year so far because I still have to give it to X-Men Volume 632, where not only does Magic reunite with Kitty Pryde, but and Emma brings Lockheed to the gals, and so I don't know. It was a year of waiting for them all to reunite, and then we got that payoff. But so that was like a happy cry, and this is just a plain old happy comic. Well, except for I'm happy reading it, but poor Kitty Pryde is going through it. So let's continue to get into it. The island nation of Krakoa was a safe haven for all mutants. In order to defend mutant kind, Kate Pryde was forced through violent extremes that have left her forever changed. But now that Krakoa is no more, mutants, including Kate, find themselves displaced across the globe, facing a world that hates and fears them. And it opens up in Chicago. We find Kitty Pryde is running, or is a Batista in Lulu's Tavern. Um, and Ewing just gets Kitty Pryde, which is amazing. We're like she's in great hands. And Carnero, like she's just earning her place as one of the best X-Men clothes artists, up there with like Paul Smith and Alan Davis. Um, Chris Bacalo. Um, it's just like you just feel the clothes are real and they're actually on the person. And Kitty's narrating home has meant a lot of things to me over the years. Deerfield, where I grew up, Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, Krakoa, sort of, the helm of a pirate ship, and then we see Bridgeport. You could say I'm pretty adaptable, that I can make a home wherever I go, but that's more or less because they were my home, my people. Were my home ever since I was a scrawny little kid. The X-Men were home, and now I'm kind of drifting along, and I barely have time to think about it, even if I want to. Which, to be clear, I don't. I don't want to think about it. So I keep busy. Two words that a bartender's worst nightmare: bottomless brunch. Sling enough mimosas, and I won't have three brain cells to spare on the X-Men. So she is just putting her head down and just working. And then the manager, Lulu, tells her to finally take her break. I don't want 5 minutes. I don't want 30 seconds alone with my thoughts. All that you God stuff is back to bite us hard. Professor X is gone, Krakoa gone, and I don't like who I became. Don't like it. Don't like it. I don't. And you just feel like her world is like it's taking everything in her to just keep the world from collapsing on top of her. And she found a small pocket where she could just exist. What's that anxiety thing you're supposed to do? Five things you can see, four things you can hear? Which, as a guy with anxiety, I don't know that thing. Like, I know, like, breathing and, like, try to create a box in your mind where, like, you breathe in, you breathe in, breathe out, but thinking, like, counting the four each time. And then Kitty's sitting next to a dumpster, And we see these two rats where Cornero deserves at least a Master Splinter solo one shot or something because these are the best rats I've seen in a while. So here I am, living a normal life as far away from anything with the letter X on it as I could possibly get. I'm the girl who walks through walls. Other than that, I look like they what they call normal. I can pass. And then we see these two guys on the counter, and one of them's sympathetic about mutants, but they're both pretty much on the same page that it's the everyday mutants you gotta worry about, the ones that you just come across. Like, I guess they've made peace with, like, yeah, there's going to be mutants on TV, and we just have to deal with those ones existing. But at least those ones are accounted for. But it's just the ones that, your day to day that you have to be like, what's this one's problem? Like, what's your powers? And meanwhile, and you can tell they're not whispering, but there is a mutant with green skin scales further down who's clearly hearing this and is just like, ugh. Most mutants aren't X-Men. They're just regular people trying to survive. As for me, I'd rather live normal people who hate me than among the shattered remains of the life I knew. Maybe that makes me a coward, but it hurts too much. Times are bad, but I'm not the one to do anything about it. And then we see Kitty going to her apartment that she's sharing with, well, I gotta learn this gal's name. Her roommate, Preeti, and they have a dog, Mickey. And right now, I'm just like, really, this apartment lets you have a dog but not a dragon. But we do get some lucky representation, so we'll get to that when we get there. But Katie's exhausted. She's gonna just zone out. Um, PT has a date load, so she is gonna head out. And then Kitty's gonna watch some TV. So she's flipping through channels, and then she gets to the footage of Cyclops, Psylocke, and Magic. So Magic's in here, so that's nice. As someone saying to the camera, "This is the first step towards radical mutant liber," and Kitty turns it off. And then Kitty breaking the fourth wall, but I don't think it's a fourth wall break. I think it's a writer choice to make her our narrator. And it happens a couple times in the comic where it's like, but I'm pretty sure she's addressing us and not just talking aloud. But she's like, sure, this is a dead end, but don't judge. Believe it or not, I have a date tonight. I didn't tell Peachy because she would make it a whole deal. It's a concert. My favorite band from high school, Lauren Ipsum, is doing a reunion show. Shameless nostalgia bait. And then it just continues over narration box. Normal person things, killing it. My expectations are zero, but I get to see a band I like and go out with someone I didn't meet when I was a literal child. Which is awesome as it's so that's clear shots against Colossus being like, yeah, I'm done with that guy. And then Preeti um, recognizes that Kitty's has left her location, so she's excited. She's outside and about. I do wish that the band name would have been Cat's Landing from like her Excalibur days, but also she could have a different band. Like, why not? No, no, no harm. And Kitty is wearing her Star of David. I was gonna say star, but her necklace. So it's just nice to see, and she's rocking a high ponytail. So we're back to like traditional Kitty Pride, but with some flair. There's loss, there's sacrifice, there's dying and being resurrected, and then being stood up on a date. And then she says it to us. So I don't think she's saying that out loud. So I think she's just our narrator. KO, fatality. Should I text her? That's too much. So we get confirmation that Kitty's at least bisexual. She's in her bisexual queen era. She's coming across a lot of people wearing fun outfits. Message in the app, ask Peachy. No, do not text Preeti. Hold on. This does not look like a crowd of people my age eager to deny they're getting older. Now they're all wearing fun costumes. I guess some maybe some practical cosplay or something. Because I messed up. My concert date is tomorrow night when I have to work. And the band's called Bunny Starlight Dreams, which I think tells you everything you need to know about the band. And then she keeps narrating to us, and she's in public and like talking to her hands, which I appreciate as a guy who talks with his hands. But this is my one night off this week. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to be fun. Single girl in the city things. Hell, maybe I should see what this Bunny Starlight Dreams is all about. See what the kids are into. And then she hears some confrontation as we see the first student of the exceptional X-Men, Bronze. And she has a ticket, but this bouncer's just not letting her in, but let her two friends in. And I don't know if it's a race issue or not, but oh, her name's Trista. So I should respect that we don't know her name's Bronze yet. But he's just like entries of discretion of the venue management. Right now, I'm the management. And she just doesn't understand why. And I don't know why either, because um, like she's not dressed differently than the other people, and her pink hair could easily just be a dye job. So like I don't know what's making her other. I mean, she is African American, but so is the person on the other side of the queue. So clearly, it can't be a race thing. And the guy also is African American. So like I don't know what makes him get into this position. The security guard. I've seen this scene enough times to know exactly where this is going. Tell us, oh, it's time. Barely aware teen, stressful situation. Three, two, one. And the security guard just says, I said, get moving. It just shoves her. Who's going? She's crying. And Katie's like, bad luck. Or bad look. And then Bronze, like, meadows up. Her hair turns into coils. And she, like, shoves that guy down. Wow, shouldn't have pushed the kid. Impressive. But my days of jumping into fights are over. Normal person. Time to go eat some normal sushi. And this is the preview pages we finally get to that did not give Kitty any it was not a good look for her, but within the context, um like we just get to the point where she's just exhausted and does not want to do anything. But she does the right thing, starts running back into the crowd. She's hearing that the guy has a gun. And the guy's like, I warned you, mutant freak. And she's like, leave me alone. He's like, kid, look out. Yeah, I don't know. It gives me that infamous Flash, Two Flashes cover from back in the day. Um, but instead of two people trying to rescue a girl, one of them's perpetrator, one's the victim, and one's Kitty. Um, for all my persons of interest fans out there. So Kitty grabs Trista. And they just running. Though we do see the security guard shoot Trista, and the bullet goes right between her eyeballs. So he meant to kill her. Like if it was for Kitty, and Kitty lets out a nice oof because I mean, yeah, we all recognize the position. And Trista is not figuring out, or she's not aware of why this is happening to her. Kitty's trying to calm her down, but also break through. People are filming this. One lady looks very disgusted. And the security guard calls ahead, telling everyone, there's issues. Buddy Starlight Dreams is a band of three dudes, it looks like, as they're on center stage. And Kitty's saying, like, stick with me, I'll get you out of here. Like, if you get caught now, you're going to juvie. This one girl stops Trista and says, I love your makeup, and she says, thank you. So I like how Trista is surprised by her mutation, but also isn't hating it at the moment. Like, she's probably hating the situation she's in, but she's not hating herself at the moment. And we see security guards walking around, their guns pointing out, and Katie says, they're going to shoot at us in a crowd full of people. It's reckless. Like, we got to get out of here. And then she phases them right into the security room. So it's like, ugh, great action sequence, and she just knocks people out. And then they phase out. Kitty gets to her car, which is just cool to know. Like, yeah, Chicago, you probably gotta have your own car. So they make it back there, and so they introduce each other. Trisha is very embarrassed by this whole thing. She's never been in a fight. Like, so the adrenaline is clearly gone now, and she's just like, ready to cry. But Kitty does a great job recovering her. You can tell that Trisha really appreciates Kitty, but and Kitty's being not completely open about like I went to a school, I learned to fight in a school, but not like mutants. And Trisha doesn't know have any mutant friends or anything, so this is all new for her, all different for her. Oh, her name's Trisha Marshall with two L's. Oh, and Kitty gave her her wallet for mutual destruction of. So they're going to drive her to Trisha's house, but also if anything weird happens, she knows where she lives, which is important for later. But it's like love this. And so she had Catherine Pride and Kate. And Kitty looks at her and goes, "It's Kitty, Kitty Pride," which is a more inviting, fun name. She says, "Cool, thanks, Kitty Pride." So she gets home. She lives with her grandmother, who also works for a living, which is like, oh, that's going to be me if I don't die early. You just recognize, like, yeah, some people have to work two jobs. And then we get to my favorite um, page in the book where Trisha opens up with her grandmother, and we see Kitty going to sleep. But in her room, there's a purple dragon statue. So she's clearly keeping Lockheed's memory alive with her. And on Marvel Unlimited, there's a Lockheed digital comic that I gotta wait till payday to start my prescription again. But it's a weekly series, so they're going to definitely get at least 1 month out of me. So hopefully that series deals with him coming to her. But from what I saw, it looks like it's a classic story. So Kitty's thinking, what was it all for? Everything we did, everything we lost for the kid to deal with some same old garbage? To almost get shot because she wanted to see a concert? What did I do with my life? Petrie is knocking on the door. We see that Kitty just sleeps like an animal, but not like ammo for butt up in the air though. But we see in her room she has a guitar, so I'm like, okay, Kitty, I like you expressing yourself through music. Hopefully she's going to therapy for this. Then we see she has a computer with a keyboard and a game controller, so PC Nation. And so Katie's brushing her teeth, cancel my actual concert date for tonight. Now I look like a flake. And then she talks, or I guess should say I am a flake. Flaky is as Flaky does. And she's getting ready to go to work, and then she sees a present on the box, or a present on a table. The present being a And we get the great two-page X bulletin page uh, with the checklist for September with Exceptional X-Men 1, Uncanny X-Men 2 and 3 is double shipping, X-Men 4, Wolverine 1, X-Factor 2, Phoenix 3, X-Force 3, NYX 3, and Dazzler 1 finally comes out. And then big hits is Wolverine Revenge 2 and Deadpool Team Up 2. And then War of X involves Venom War Wolverine 1, Wolverine Deep Cut 3, which potentially could have Lockheed and Kitty in it because they were in issue 1. And Namor 3 and Avengers 18, which still rocks Storm in it, so that's nice. And so there's a note left on the front door for you, pre-T. And then she opens the box and all this glitter comes out. And Trisha got her a present. It says, "For Kitty, my hero, mutant pride." And it's like, oh, and Kitty gets all welled up. And I originally, with all the preview pages and cover art, knew I was going to have Melee as my favorite, but Bronze like swept everyone's hearts, and I'm like, all right, you guys can have your Bronze, I'll just have Melee. But Trishta Bronze is very adorable. Like she started off very strong, and so she's hard to not like and easy to love. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm on board. Axel with his emotional powers, like I'm not sure about, but I'm sure they're going to be great. Uh, in the presents is a set of earrings that Kitty puts on, so that's nice. And we get the end as just she starts her another day. And then we get a fun caption page turn LOL JK. And we see Emma Fress's living the high life. And she's looking for something to do. And she checks on Banshee, who's boring. Aurora, a bit messy for my taste. Bishop, intriguing. Move that to the maybe category. Logan, ugh, distasteful. Ragnar, somewhat passe. Well, well, well. And then we see Kitty's fixing a machine and gets a slight headache as Emma probes her telepathically. Oh, little Catherine Pride, whatever are you up to? You can run away from the X-Men, Kitty, but you can't run from me. And that, everyone, is Exceptional X-Men 1. We are off to a great start. Melee gets the second cover, or the cover to the second issue. Kitty Pryde continues attempts at living a normal life. Non-mutant life go laughably wrong as she finds herself in the middle of a brawl started by a couple of headstrong teens with remarkable abilities. Which, of course, because I guess you don't want to say teens of attitude, which, of course, they're terrible at controlling. She's sworn off being anyone's teacher, mentor, professor, sensei, or anything that reminds her of her own life. But when the White Queen forced her hand, Exceptional X-Men 2. And so this, um, which I'm going to buy too digitally, and we get to Great Falls, see Kelly's comics we get there, but I gotta make sure I support my issues. But that, everyone, was issue 2, so let's see what else came out last week. Marvel Zombies Dawn of Decay came out that had no X-Men in it, but it's about Groot causing the Avengers to become zombies, and it's like, alright. Oh yeah, so yeah, Exception was the only X comic last week, so that's pretty great. And then let's see what comes out on Wednesday. Uh, Blood Hunters 2, which I don't know if that has Dazzler in it or not. Uh, Uncanny X-Men 2. So that should be great. We see if there's any more Lockheed content. Which I gotta say, I made a post on Twitter uh, about Lockheed content in the From the Ashes era. So I had the two images from Uncanny X-Men 1, and then that page from Exceptional X-Men 1, and Gail Simone herself um, retweeted it. So I was like, oh, Gail Simone. Be amazing if she will favorite or follow me at one point. Same for Carmen Carnero, but I'm also like, you know, keep working at it, but maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But it's just like, oh, Gail Simone, who clearly must have any postings about Uncanny X-Men like on her notification list. But I'm like, oh, I thank you for the love. I'm going to say friend of the pod, Gail Simone. She'd probably be like, all right, buddy. Venom War Wolverine 1, which is going to be a pass for me, uh, especially as it's Logan and not Laura. Oh, and then Wolverine 1 comes out, which I think when Laura's comic comes out, she's going to be called Laura Kinney the Wolverine, which complicated. It sort of implies she's not the Wolverine. But, or maybe they're just calling one Wolverine and one the Wolverine. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in November. So I'm not sure if Uncanny X-Men is going to get the spotlight. Um, the title. name after it. But if not, we'll just do our back issues. Uh, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But thank you everyone for listening. I made a TikTok video also at Jacko SII where you can see the cover and a couple page art there if you'll like. And on YouTube at Jacko SII, I did a lot of Stumble Guy videos, which people seem to like, and making a little more progress on Fortnite. Uh, I think I got to do 3 level ups, and then I get Black Queen Emma Frost. So once I get that, I'll make another video for that victory. Uh, but yeah, just making that content. And thank you, dear listener, for listening. And if you will rate and subscribe and ask a friend to subscribe, leave a review if you're so inclined. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.